If you have a kiddo who has a difficult time with flexibility of schedules, they need to stick to a routine, a structure, and the same one every day. And if they don't, they cannot handle it. They have complete meltdowns, and it's very difficult to help them through that. Then I want you to take a listen to this video. I'm Christina. I am Inflammation Mama. I have a deep passion about better understanding the body as a whole, down to the cellular level, especially in kiddos, to keep them happy, healthy, and safe as possible, whatever that looks like for them at whatever level they're at. So what's usually happening in kids or adults who have a difficult time going out of the normal routine or out of structure is that their brain literally doesn't have the capacity, a large enough capacity to have the flexibility to change, right? So when you have multiple stressors to the body, or if you think about it having multiple thoughts, right? We always have so many thoughts going on in our head. You're thinking about this and you think about that and you think about that. So then you don't really get this done because you're thinking about so many other things. Your brain is so full, you quite literally cannot take on another thought or another task. And I think we've all felt that at some point. And with kiddos, and parents of these kids who need to be in this structure, it can really disrupt life because you have to stick to a very specific routine. And therefore, as parents, you do whatever you need to do for your kiddo. But what you can also work on in the process is growing their capacity, their physical brain's structure capacity to take on more, which will create more flexibility, if that makes sense. So instead of having a cup that's this small, you want to try to create a cup that's this big so that they can handle more input, if that makes sense. And there are two things that you kind of want to think about when it comes to the body. You have the cellular level, right, where the cells are inflamed or they're firing wiring incorrectly, and therefore they cannot even take in the input because what's on the inside is not capable of receiving that. So that's one thought process. Another thing to think about is, well, what's causing those cells and that firing and wiring to not be as optimal? And we're inundated with so many toxins in every single aspect of our lives, from the wood in our house to the toothbrush that we're using, to the candle that we're burning, to the body wash that we're using, to the air that we're breathing in and the water that we're drinking. All of it affects the cellular structure of our bodies. And when it's too much, whatever size our cup is, it's going to overflow. And when a kid is so rigid, their cup is already so small. So one thing that we could do is to keep from the cup from overflowing is to help remove as many burdens or toxins or stressors to the system, which leads me to my next point. These kids go with the structure and go with the routine because it feels safe. It feels safe, okay? That is a nervous system regulation thing, feeling safe, and what we do so that we can feel safe. So another huge aspect of this is nervous system regulation. So the cup size, we can work on the cup size. We can work on emptying the cup a little bit of the loads. And then we can help the regulation of whatever cup size we have, but being able to handle what comes in and out of the cup, so that if our kid has a cookie, they don't have a meltdown. Or if something changes out of routine, they don't have a meltdown anymore, because you're working on these three things. So nervous system regulation is so key. So do whatever you can, find all the resources, Google all the things about nervous system regulation in your child. So the 3 things that I recommend are, number 1, trying to lower the toxic load in every way possible, looking up cleaner options of food and products. Number 2 is working on nervous system regulation for yourself first. And then number 2, you can go to a network chiropractor. You can do exercises like breathing or vagal tone, like gargling, jumping up and down. There's lots of things that you could do to help the nervous system to regulate. And then 3, in doing those 2 things, you are going to help the cellular structure and therefore be able to increase the size of the cup and therefore the flexibility of your child's body to handle different things. Whether it's a cookie or whether it's going out of routine, they can much better handle these now because you are working on these 2 things. I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes sense. I have a free guide in my link in bio that goes over different ways to do this, if that's helpful for you. Otherwise, I hope this makes sense, and I hope you have a good day.